Think about the most mysterious driver in your yard. Not mysterious like a character in a film, just quiet, contained, and completely settled. He is the bloke who shows up, hauls 40 tons across the country, laughs at the jokes in the canteen, and seems perfectly happy. And yet you realize one day that you know almost nothing about his actual life. You do not know if he is in a relationship or if he lives alone. You do not know where he spent his last week of annual leave. You do not know what he is struggling with or what he is excited about. And the strange thing is, he never seems bothered by the fact that you do not know. He is not hiding. He is just private. Something about that quietly unsettles the rest of us, doesn't it? We live in a world that has decided that being an open book is a virtue. We think sharing is the only way to connect. If you aren't telling people every detail of your weekend or what you had for your tea, people think you've got something to hide. They assume you're either broken or dodgy. But what if that assumption is completely backwards? What if the drivers who keep their lives private aren't the ones who are struggling? What if they are the ones who have figured something out that the rest of us are still trying to learn? Let's talk about what keeping your life private actually means when you're living in a cab. Privacy is not the same thing as being secretive. Secrecy is about hiding something specific like a lie, a shame, or a fear. Privacy is something fundamentally different. Privacy is about ownership. It is the quiet but powerful decision that not every part of your life needs to be witnessed by others. You don't need validation or approval from the blokes in the transport office for your life to be real. Psychologists call this psychological differentiation. It's the ability to maintain a clear sense of yourself that is separate from the opinions of others. In simpler terms, those private drivers know who they are without needing you to confirm it. And in this modern world, that is rarer than finding a clean shower at a service station. The first reason people keep their lives private is self-protection. And I'm not talking about the kind that comes from being scared. Research shows that private people have often learned that oversharing creates a massive vulnerability. When you tell everyone about your new relationship, your new motor, or your new dream, you open that tender thing up to everyone else's opinions. You get comparisons and unsolicited advice before that new thing has even had time to grow roots. Private people have learned to protect the soft, early stages of things. They only share when something is stable enough to survive the scrutiny of the yard. Then there is the matter of energy conservation. There is a massive psychological cost to performing your life for other people. Every time you share something personal, there is an invisible transaction happening. You aren't just given information, mate. You are also taking on the emotional labor of managing how people respond to it. You have to process their reactions, their questions, and their judgments. Private people have opted out of that transaction entirely. They aren't cold. They are just protective of where their energy goes. When you're already knackered from 10 hours on the M6, why would you want the extra work of managing people's opinions? The third reason is what researchers call identity stability. Studies show that people who constantly share their lives are more susceptible to social comparison drift. The more you perform your life for an audience, The more your sense of self is shaped by that audience's reactions, you start making choices based on what gets a good response rather than what is actually true to you. Private drivers are immune to this because they aren't performing for anyone. Their identity stays theirs. It doesn't belong to the blokes in the canteen. Research also found that private people are not less connected than open people. They are just differently connected. They tend to have fewer relationships, but those relationships are significantly deeper. They share things, just not with everyone. The people who earn their trust get access to a version of them that the rest of the world never sees. That selectivity is not a flaw, mate. It is a sign of high emotional intelligence. It's the ability to tell the difference between a relationship that can hold the weight of real intimacy and one that cannot. So the next time you meet a driver who doesn't tell you much, don't assume something is wrong. Don't assume they are damaged or hiding something dark in their sleeper cab. Consider instead that you might be looking at someone who has mastered a great skill, the ability to live fully without needing anyone else to watch. A private life is not an empty life. In most cases, it is the opposite. It is a life so full and genuinely inhabited that it does not need an audience to feel real. Why do we feel the need to turn every part of our lives into something that must be seen? The truth is, not everything valuable is meant to be shared or explained. Some things are supposed to be lived quietly. Here is my challenge for you for the next 24 hours. Don't share everything. Keep one moment just for yourself. No post on social media, no story in the canteen, no explanation to your mates. Just let it exist in your life without an audience. Notice how that feels. Notice the power that comes from being the only one who knows. Because your life is yours, mate. It doesn't belong to the motorway, and it doesn't belong to the public. Keep the best parts for the people who actually matter. If this made you see privacy in a different way, drop a like on the video. It helps the message reach the drivers who are tired of performing. Subscribe for more psychology and tales from the tarmac that actually change how you see yourself. And let me know in the comments, who is the quietest driver you've ever worked with? And did you ever figure out why? Stay safe out there. Keep your life your own. Keep the shiny side up. Over and out.